Looking to the future for me, where do the Broncos go from here?
Hopefully up. They can't be any lower than what they are right now. They're lower than whale poop right now. They're at the bottom of the sea. Last in a lot of statistical categories, and that's not what they expected when they traded all of what they traded and paid Russell Wilson what they paid him. This was the right decision. The team had lost confidence in Nathanial Hackett. You can only tell, look at the defense. The defense came in third, had only given up an average of 18 points a game, and they gave up 51 against a team with a banged up offensive line, a quarterback that's only been there for like 24 hours. That's unacceptable. They're fighting amongst themselves. They're fighting after the game. The Waltons, the new ownership, had no choice. We talked about it yesterday. I said, they're not beholden to you now, bro. You were hired before they got there. And in talking to them, they want to win. They didn't just make, we worth $65, $70 billion. What's $30 million to them? They'll eat that. And it doesn't go against the cap. So you couldn't do anything with Russ. You cut Russ. That's $107 million in dead cap. You can't eat that right now. But Russ, you on borrowed time next year. General manager, you on borrowed time. Because first of all, you hired Nathaniel Hackett and you gave Russ our money before we even got there. So in other words, Skip, I got to pay off a bill that I ain't even purchased the thing. Hopefully, Skip, I would love to see D'Amico Ryans and Byron Leftwich get a job this offseason. But I think in this situation, you probably need to go a more proven route. Given what Russ is. Now, let me tell you the problem is. Russell Wilson has never been a 1, 2, 3, get rid of the ball. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, get rid of the ball. He was very good at improvisational. He was very good at getting off the play that was called, getting what we call off script. Russell has lost athleticism. Russ cannot run anybody. So he can't make those improvisational plays like he could for his first 10 years in Seattle. And now you see, Russ, Skip, how many times, you never see Russ get dragged down from behind?
No.
Russ cannot run, look like Russ cannot run me. But I tell you what, I don't know who the head coach is going to be. The first thing you do, Russell Wilson, I'm locking this office. You will no longer have an office. All those parking spaces that you get at the stadium, they're gone too. Because you're putting yourself in front of the team. And I said it before and I'll say it again and I stand by it. You ticked a lot of people off with your attitude, bro. Now you can come out here and talk about we're a team and I'm good with my teammates. But deep down inside they seething, and I'm going to leave it at that. Take it with what you want to.
Bronco country, let's hide. Not ride, hide, right? Let's hide.
He done crashed the car. I told you, remember yesterday, Skip, I said, let Russ cook. Russ was frying a turkey and burned the whole damn house down. Forget the meal. Not only do we not have a meal, we ain't got no place to eat if we had a meal. Because Russ done burned it down. We talked about, it was Vance Joseph, he can't do this, and Big Fangio, he can't do that. They never looked as bad. With all Trevor Siemian and Drew Lock and Teddy Bridgewater and all those guys. They never looked as bad as they look right now.
That is hard to believe. Okay, before I get to the bigger picture, back to the little picture, which is Nathanial Hackett. Since about 1976, I've been very close with his father, Paul, who is an offensive guru. Probably a better play caller than a head coach, but he was a head coach at Pitt and then out here at USC, Southern California. Joe Montana and he were so close that Montana had him present when he went to the Hall of Fame. So he had some great days with Joe Montana as his play caller and coordinator, along with, obviously,
he was in Kansas City with Joe also.
When Joe ended in Kansas City, he was there. So I first met Nathaniel when he was probably 8 years of age, and I could not have imagined that he would ever become head coach of the Denver Broncos because I thought he was the one of the two sons who didn't seem to love football that much and sort of veered in other directions. But here he is, and there he was. And yet what happened, I'm pretty sure, is Nathaniel got very close with Aaron Rodgers. And Aaron has sworn by many, many times publicly and said he just loves having him around. He makes Aaron laugh. He keeps him a little looser. And Aaron thinks he's smart. And he enjoys the sparring mentally with him because Aaron always thinks he's the smartest guy in the room. And I think Nathaniel's a smart young man at age 42. So what did George Payton do in Denver? He said, I have designs on Aaron Rodgers, and the best way to grease the skids to get Aaron here in Denver is to go get the coach that he loves the most and make him my head coach. It's a little scary because Nathaniel's been a very good, remember, he was calling plays for Blake Bortles, and they got all the way to up 20-10 early in the fourth quarter at New England. So he did that. He was calling those plays. So he's really good at that.
Right.
And yet, it felt like the only reason they really hired him, the subliminal, sort of the between the lines reason was they thought they could get Aaron, and they did not land Aaron Rodgers for whatever reason. So here you are, and you got Nathaniel. And all of a sudden, what happened to your schedule? Every game, it seemed like, was a solo stage game right out of the box. Your first one is solo stage. It seemed like you had about 7 in a row where you were Monday, Sunday night, right? And all of a sudden, it put Nathaniel on the hottest of seats because it put him in the hottest of spotlights. And the first game is obviously against Seattle.
Monday night.
On a Monday night. And it comes down to a decision. Are you going to let Russ go for it on 4th and 5? Or are you going to try a 64-yard field goal by McManus? And maybe Nathaniel was on to something because he had already decided, I don't really want my quarterback to try this. I'd rather my kicker try this.
Okay, I didn't have a problem with that 64 yards, but Skip, look how much time he let run off the clock before he called timeout.
It was terrible, but I don't know if Russ was in charge of that. Nathaniel should have been in charge.
Of course.
So was he deferring to Russ? I actually thought that he would help Russ be however good Russ could be, but I think Russ is a complete solo act at this point, and I think he had little to no respect for Nathaniel and pretty much cut him out because he's going to run the offense. It's his offense, and I think he got so many promises coming in. I want to run the show here because I couldn't always run the show in Seattle.
Well, he never could. And Pete was on to something.
He was on to it. He got off him in.
Pete was on to something.
Yeah.
And running the football and playing lights out defense, I think coming to Denver kind of exposed a lot of the weaknesses that Russell displayed. And like I said, Skip, he couldn't get off script now because his athleticism has waned. So now he can't get away to do all those pirouettes. He can't do all this run to the left and throw this way or run to the right and do that. He can't do that anymore because the athleticism isn't there and guys are chasing him down.
Okay. So his glory days in Seattle were courtesy of, if you really look hard, of the Legion of Boom, because they were sort of running the football team. And to your point that you made 1,000 times on this show, the turning point for that football team came down to the final play of that, or was it the very last play? It was it was
the last play for them.
Yeah, last play for them, exactly. And at that point, Pete Carroll, it appeared, wanted to put the game and the ball and maybe the MVP in the hands of his quarterback. He wanted to go in the direction of his quarterback, and you know the rest of the story. Malcolm Butler happened, greatest defensive play we've ever seen in a Super Bowl, and it ended the game. And Tom Brady's over there jumping up and down like a little kid at Christmas,
It ended Seattle.
Yeah, and it ended. It was the turning point where they just couldn't take it. It tore the guts out of the defense.
They were already resentful because they said, Pete, you show him favoritism. When we do something wrong, you scold everybody else, but you let him skate. They grew to be resentful. It wasn't Russell's fault that Pete showed him favoritism, but it's just like the teacher's pet. Even though it's not he or she's fault that the teacher loves them more, but the kids in the classroom will grow resentful of said child. They grew resentful of Russ because of what Pete was doing for Russ and not holding him accountable. That's what drove them.
That is true. Somewhere Pete Carroll is saying, I told you so.
Pete Carroll right now got the third pick in the draft. We got the third pick in the draft. We could go a lot of different ways. We can go Jalen Carter. If we really want to get a quarterback, we go quarterback. And plus, we still got our pick. We still got our first-round pick. That's going to be fairly high.
All right. So I'm with you. I don't blame the new family that runs this, and they are the wealthiest family in pro football beyond Jerry Jones money, right?
Man, if they had Jerry Jones money, ain't no telling what they would do. They jumping out a window. With that little bit of money Jerry got, what they got.
I mean, he's got a valuable team. But not that kind of money.
They can pay Jerry, what you want for that? You want $20 million? We'll give you that, because we still got 40 to go.
Okay. So money is no object, except their sport is run by this thing called a salary cap.
Exactly.
So you can't defeat that no matter how much money you have or Jerry has. You can't
You can't coach it. You fire all the coaches. I mean, you see they fired the offensive line coach, the special team, because they don't care about that. Because they ain't going against the salary cap.
All right. So obviously, they hit bottom on Sunday. Was it Sunday?
Sunday.
Yeah, Sunday at SoFi.
Yeah.
Because you go in there as a 3-point favorite against Baker Mayfield and what's left of the Rams, and you get blown out 51-14, and you quit on Nathaniel Hackett.
The most points ever scored in a Christmas Day game.
Okay. So it's so shameful. You have to do something. And the easiest target, the first to go, is going to be the head coach, because you can get away with that one and it doesn't affect your cap at all. So I get it. I feel sorry for Nathaniel. I'm sure Aaron's perked up and said, well, can we get him back here? But they got Tom Clements to come out of retirement to be his quarterback coach, so I don't think you could do that to Tom Clements. Now that Green Bay is hot again, I don't know that you could reinstate Nathaniel. You could bring him back as an advisor or some, assistant quarterback coach.
I don't know if you saw the video, but Russell was scrambling out of the pocket, and there's Cortland Sutton jumping up and down the side like, throw me the ball. And Russell, Russell doesn't even look. He's standing up there, and he's looking down the field. He throws a pick. And Cortland Sutton...
Yeah, okay. Well, that's been happening all year long.
Absolutely.
Okay, so now to the bigger picture. Obviously, the apple of their eye now, the biggest target would be Sean Payton, who's working here for us.
Yep.
But he would be great for you because he's exactly what the doctor ordered for Russell Wilson as he turns 35 years of age. It would be Sean's greatest challenge, but he did it with an older and aging Drew Brees. And so could he put Russ in the perfect spots to...
Well, he did it with a broken down Drew Brees, because you remember Drew Brees, when he got there, that shoulder skip, a lot of teams, as a matter of fact, Miami failed him on the physical. That's how he ended up going to New Orleans, and he took a $10 million deal.
He did?
And he proved himself.
Okay.
Had like 3 or 4 5,000-yard seasons, got to and won a Super Bowl with the league's MVP. Sean Payton can work miracles, and he would need to work a miracle.
He would need to work a miracle to the point where, and I'm not speaking for Sean here, and I've not spoken to Sean about this, I would be a little surprised if he would take the job because of Russ. Because he might, from a distance, view Russ as unfixable at this point, because he's gone over the edge into stardom and celebrity and status.
But Russ' game was based on athleticism.
It was.
The reason why Tom Brady's been able to play 23 years is that his game isn't based on athleticism. So what? All of a sudden, he's running a 7-flat 40. Hell, when he was 22, he ran a 6-flat 40. So his athleticism hasn't derailed anything.
I swear to you, I think Brady's a little faster now than he was when he ran the ugliest 40 I've ever seen.
Go ahead. And that's not saying
nothing. It's saying nothing. But that's the point.
Right. That's why he was able to play so long, Skip, because of his athleticism.
Russ was an escape artist.
Yes.
He was best outside the pocket, just off script.
Yes.
Get him off script, that's when you're on script.
That's when he's at his best.
Yes.
So now he can't get off script because he can't get away to buy him enough time to make those plays. He's never been the guy, Skip, that's 1, 2, 3 and throw the ball. He's never been 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and throw the ball. It's always been, hey, Russ, go make a play. And he could do that. Russ can't make any plays now. If it's not drawn up perfect to make a play, he can't make a play.
Can't make a play. So you could go other directions. You could go for my coordinator, Dan Quinn, and you could try to strengthen your strength, which is your defense. D'Amico Ryans, I think, is going to be a star of a head coach. But you would start with him strengthening your strength, which is the defense, right? You could do there are all kinds of younger defensive potential guru head coaches, but you had Vic Fangio, who is going to be...
Vic Fangio was Lombardi compared to...
He was. No, he was. Remember what he did just a year ago, what he did at Dallas? They're up 30-0, 4 minutes left in the game. And he said, I got the blueprint.
And if that was the case, they probably should have kept Coach Fangio and give him a quarterback, because that's what they were... And even now, Skip, the defenses have been fairly good. It's just offensively. Skip, you're not winning a whole lot of games, scoring 15 points a game. Who the hell you think you're going to be?
So, ironically, by all reports, Sean Payton has already tabbed Vic Fangio to be his coordinator wherever he goes. So you could have a welcome back to Denver, except Vic would probably be in the role that he is ultimately best suited for, which is running the defense. Okay? So would that be a great fit for you? Sure it would.
It would.
Okay? I just don't know that Sean's going to say, do I really want... Because whoever comes there is stuck with Russ.
You stuck with at least for 1 year.
At least maybe for 2.
Hell, Skip.
It's pretty awful what happens even after 1 year.
Well, Skip, here's the thing.
There's a lot of dead cap going on.
That's okay. But at least I have a quarterback. I can't have a dead cap and a dead man playing quarterback for me. So something got to give.
No, I got it. I mean, you could bite that bullet and just do it right now.
I don't
just
think
cut bait. And it's so bad that you're going to wind up trying to surround your next quarterback with a bunch of street free agents.
Yeah.
Seriously.
I don't think you can do it, Skip. That's 107 million.
Dead. You wasted it. Which brings me to your GM, and you brought it up. To your credit, man, how did he survive this? Because this is a move that is absolutely crippling for your franchise.
You did this.
Yep. And you did pick Nathaniel Hackett, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And see, Skip, that's why I did like, Shannon, you always like to be in charge. I do. Because if I do something that you wanted me to do and it goes wrong, I'm going to be looking at you some type of way. That way, if it goes wrong with me, okay, Shannon, you the one that chose to go this way. You chose to do this. You chose to do that. I'm a big believer in that, Skip.
Yep.
If you get me out of my routine, I listen to you,
yep.
I'm going to feel some type of way about you. That's just the way I am.
Yeah. Here's my bottom line to this. I didn't realize this until I read this early this morning. Your Denver Broncos, the great franchise that you played for, have missed the playoffs 7 years in a row?
Yeah.
7 years in a row?
7.
That's impossible.
7.
Okay.
We bad, man. We bad. I'm sorry, Bronco country. I am sorry. Y'all deserve better than this. And this is some bull jive.
Is it?
This is some bull jive.
This is a tough fix now.
Yeah, I don't want to hear nothing. Hey, I don't want to hear nothing about, you get knocked down and get back on the horse. I don't want to hear none of these cliches, Russ. I want to see you play better. How about play better? Where's that cliche that you're going to play better? And do it. Actually do it.
Yep. Well, there you go.
Former assistant Jerry Rosberg has been named the interim head coach, guys, and this could get worse. Broncos face the Kansas City Chiefs this weekend. Thanks for watching, Undisputed fans. Subscribe here to get the very latest from Skip and Shannon. Plus, go watch a few segments from our other shows on FS1.